Right, we are live. Hey guys, I messed up the intro, but we are ready here for Super Rugby Pacific, round number 12, the Saturday starting game on the Kiwi Lads channel. I believe we've got about 9 matches we are covering today of the Sevens and the Union. It's going to be a busy day, but this game should be a nice curtain opener for what promises to be an exciting day. The Hurricanes taking on Moana Pasifika has just kicked off. The Hurricanes going from right to left, and already it's going to be Kinina Holo driving. I believe that was Tui Tavuki into touch at the start of this contest. But a big opportunity for Jacob Devery that we were mentioning just before the contest. He will already have his first throw. Only 20 seconds in. Nicely taken by Isaiah Wakaliawere. 22 metres out now. The Hurricanes from the line. Big shot on Geordie Barrett coming in. And Jamie Booth. Wait for this one to come out the back. No Roygaard in the starting lineup there. That looked a little bit high on Salisi Reasi. Now Booth on again to the short side. Isaiah Wakaliawere. Hurricanes, they come in as heavy favourites for this contest, I should have mentioned. Duplessis Karifi now once again tackled. Only 10 metres out from the line. James Blackwell moving forward here as well. Now Booth going off to Devon Flanders. Moana Pasifika, they are a side that are yet to get themselves a victory in this Super Rugby Pacific season. And that is something that they've been very... Oh, no, they've just conceded. First try of the match, Billy Proctor scores it. What I was about to say is they've been pretty unlucky with some of the times that they have lost, being very close in a majority of those matches, getting 3 bonus points so far, which means they were within 7 3 times. Billy Proctor, though, has just made it a little bit trickier for Moana Pasifika to be close in this one with his first try of the contest. Artie Savi, anytime try scorer, says Jeffrey. I'm going to go to this game. Maybe go the Hurricanes, says Darren. And if Moana Pasifika win, that will be an even bigger upset. I do hope they get at least one win, says Novmum. Yeah, it would be nice to see a Moana Pasifika win. I know that they've got the Fijian draw as one of their next games. And I was like, let's go, Captain Kerr. Afternoon, Kiwi lads. Beautiful day today. Good game for the Canes and Moana. You see, my brain, it's slowly waking up. I think I butchered my intro, which wasn't ideal, but, you know, the brain, it's excited and it's also daunting because I realize now we're going to be up till at least 7 a.m., I believe, tomorrow, which is why I woke up relatively late. We were up at 7 a.m. this morning doing the last game of the Sevens between Fiji and South Africa. Went back to sleep, got about 5.5, 6 hours, so we're fresh enough, I think is the best way of describing it. But 2 minutes in, already 7-0 now for the Highlanders. Not the Highlanders, the Hurricanes. Highlanders playing tomorrow up against the Brumbies. I think that could be the closest game of the weekend, alongside possibly Crusaders versus Blues. Now Jamie Booth picks that one downfield into touch, clearing kick from the Hurricanes to start us off. 15th start for Jamie Booth in his 58th game. So it's fair to say he normally doesn't get the opportunity over someone like TJ Perenato or more recently Roygaard. Be excited to see what he can do in this starting lineup. Now, nice run forward from Moana Pasifika, and they do manage to get themselves the penalty there. I've got a decision to make. They're going to be about 45 metres out. That was Kinina Holo, not rolling away. All right, Lincoln McClutchy got the ball in hand. They are not keen on going for the 3. I'll kick this one for the corner. It's a decent kick as well, about 15 metres out now. Moana Pasifika, their first attacking chance of the day. It's a good run from Pinatoa Finau. Getting a holo, thought he was pretty close to getting that turnover. Now Latiro Tolai on the ball in now for Moana Pasifika, nicely taken there. Now Latiro Tolai whipping it around to the left-hand side. Run from Henry Taifu. To the left, Moana Pasifika under advantage now. Just look to keep on building up a few extra phases in a row here. Finney Anisi has a crack. Now, it's going to be Denny Tuala in the midfield taken down. Now, that's the thing. These two teams have a lot of players who play against each other in the Bunnings EBC, whether it is going to be Hawke's Bay or alongside each other, I should say. Hawke's Bay, a few of their players play for Wellington. That's a great run from Moana Pasifika. They're in for their first try. And it's going to be Henry Taifu, the captain. That's a good start to the match for both of these sides. We've had less than 5 minutes And already both sides have the potential to be sitting here on 7 points. Quite a high-scoring game just around the corner here. Of course, later on tonight, we've got Crusaders Blues. Should be a very exciting game. Blues, Nate, you'll be looking forward to that one. It's in your name. Do you think the Blues are going to get the job done, though, over the Satyrs, Nate? Or do you think the Satyrs will be able to get themselves the victory? I feel like it's a bit of a pick-em game, to be honest. Both sides have gone with quite strong starting lineups. George, I believe, is going to be joining us for that live stream. He is currently away working, but he will be finished at 5. Yeah, he might be joining us for that Crusaders versus Blues stream. Taking some deep breaths here, Lincoln McClutchy. And the kick is good. Has gone over, and that will now make the score 7 points each. After only the 5.5 minutes, Moana Pasifika, there is still quite a few people who are supportive of this side. Even without a victory here, they know that when they get it right, they are an entertaining side to watch. See there, Jonathan Tamatine taking a little bit of a late shot from James Blackwell, of course, ex-Hurricanes man. Jonathan Tamatine. Same can be said about Lincoln McClutchy. Oh, nicely taken there by Tima Whainanuku. Playing out on that right wing for this game. Now, Letero Tule makes his way forward a little bit further. As D-Mac played himself out the AB's number 10 spot, says Hanoi. I wouldn't say so. I feel like the ones who are going, he's played himself out of the number 10 spot, like, are the ones who didn't want him there in the first place. If that makes sense, because he's had an absolutely fantastic season. They went with a new 19 combo. It wasn't quite gelling the way that it has in past games, which might make people concerned in some regards. But yeah, he's probably, out of the fly half options of Bowden Barrett, Richie Moong, and D-Mac, he's probably had the least bad game so far throughout the season. Now, Proctor went for the inside ball, nicely taken by Jonathan Tamatine to clean it up. But yeah, I think a lot of the naysayers will be like, yes, that's what we've been after. We wanted D-Mac to play badly so that he can be nowhere near that number 10 jersey. But I think he's still right up there in terms of a chance of getting it. And for the Blues, it's up to our forwards to take it to the Satyrs. No room for error against the Satyrs, says Blues Nate. Yeah, I think Crusaders, they normally start a little bit of a final streak, if that makes sense. They now know where they are in the comp. They know where they want to be, which is that top 4 near the end of the week. So, yeah, they're going to start playing a lot better, which is why the Blues, their penalty conceded count worries me, because we saw last week they conceded a lot of penalties up against Moana Pasifika. Great run here from the youngster, number 15, finds the pass off to Geordie Barrett. It will be the try. A great attack and run there from the young fullback. It is not Josh Morby for this week. Instead, they have got the youngster, Harry Godfrey. He's hardly had a moment on the field. He set up Geordie Barrett there, who took a big shot as he was getting over the try line, but that will be the second one of the match now for the Hurricanes. And to the Hurricanes, Duaka, they did not, Levi, not for this match. They just got out on the field and they were ready to go. And also true, he's been doing well, says Hanoi. But yeah, I believe the ones who are like, because that's the thing. If they're basing it off the fact that the Chiefs lost, Crusaders lost to the Fiji and Drua, the Crusaders lost to the Chiefs, the Blues, if they're basing it off that for Bowden Barrett, you've got, Bowden Barrett butchered a game for his side and they ended up losing it, didn't they, early on? So, yeah, it's his one game that the side has lost, but it's the most recent one, so everyone will be like, Mackenzie, bye-bye. And yeah, true, Hamish, Blues need to grit it out today, says Nate. Yeah. It's going to be a good game, I hope, anyway. If it's anything like the Chiefs-Reds game yesterday, we'll be in for a great game. If it's stop-start with a lot of penalties, then it may not be so great. I wonder where that plane was going. Hanging up there. What way is that for Westpac Stadium? Or Sky Stadium, as it's now known, the Cake Tin, as it used to be known. Just trying to work out whether that would be going north or south. Also, we have got there, wow, look who's up. Or look, this, who is up for the next 16 hours, says Brandon. Going to be fun, isn't it? Be a nice patch of rugby. Like, that's the thing. Even by the last game, because we go from Super Rugby to the Sevens to the URC, it still feels like you're watching something different each time. So it does make it entertaining all the way through. 14 points to 7 now. Hurricanes with that successful kick over. I need to remember how to say words, though, by the time we get to like the 10th hour. Jamie Booth. Rolling that ball back in the ruck. And the ball high. Blackwell, actually, the man chasing after that one. Realised quite quickly there was going to be a flying Moana Pacifican player coming at him, and there's a little knock on there from Moana Pasifika. And yep, going to be a solid game today, the Blues. And the status says Blues and 8. Yeah, it should be good. At least we hope. If it's not, then it would be kind of sad. But the thing is, it's probably not completely unrealistic to expect it to be one of the games heading into the quarterfinals. Like, even if it's not a quarter, it could be a semi. Looking at the way the table is. In fact, we'll get the table up so you guys can see it as well. One moment. We'll go like this. Like that. Hopefully, with a bit of luck here, we should be able to have it up. But I should mention that they have currently got a bit of an injury stoppage. Is it going to work? There we go. Look at that. So at the moment, the Blues and the Crusaders, currently they are both inside of that top 5, on top of that, and that top 4 as well. But, all it takes is the Hurricanes to get a victory here over Moana Pasifika. That will boost them above one of these two sides. The other of those two sides will remain in 3rd, and then the other side will actually drop to 5th. So, we could see maybe Blues Crusaders playing each other as 4th and 5th. It could be an option heading into the quarterfinals, depending on, of course, how the other results go. The Brumbies still got a couple tough games to go. I'm not going to be joining you. I'm doing my own. I do Super Rugby next one. I do the 7s at 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. There's Brandon there. Has there been any dirt bike gangs breaking the law in your area? I don't think so. I haven't really heard of any anyway. I think the biggest, I'm trying to think of what the worst thing someone's done recently around the Akiras is probably didn't pick up some dog poop. All advantage to the Hurricanes. Now Adi Savia pops the ball up to Kenny Naholo, taken down early by Jonathan Tamatene. Why are you looking the other way at Sky Stadium? Just to be fancy. I think it's the best way I put on it. Salisi Reasi there. You could also ask the question of why is there cricket being played in behind me? And we need that win in the bonus point, Blues, says Nate. Yeah, it's getting close at the moment. Like, that's the thing. Round that 8 position is quite close at the moment in the competition because you've currently still got 4 teams that could end up with that number 8 spot. The Force have it at the moment, but, the Highlanders, if they get the win over the Brumbies, if the Rebels, they beat the Waratahs, that boosts them up. So you've got 4 teams all jockeying for 8th. You've also got, at this stage, I would say about 4 teams jockeying for 2nd. So, of course, home finals will be massive for the Super Rugby Pacific competition. That's exactly what those sides will be looking for. I was like, hi, all says Robert, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Now, I normally butcher what time it is in the US. You're about 20 hours behind. So I want to say you're at about 8:48 a.m., Robert. One day I'm going to get it bang on the money. Could it be today? That's going to be a drop ball from Godfrey, who got absolutely cleaned up and put down. Contact. He's back up to his feet, though, which is always good to see. Looks like he's feeling it a bit, though. Oh, Godfrey. The thing is, he's not a very big individual, so playing up against these big boys, it's always going to be tricky. At 11 p.m. in Colorado, says Fergus. That mountain time. Okay, so I'm probably a mile off. In fact, it's probably 12:49 a.m., is it, for yourself, Robert, rather than 8? I think I went the wrong way with my hours. I think I'm going to find I'm going to be quite far off. I think it was 12:49. Now, ball is going to be going in. Jonathan Tamatine, are you doing anything tomorrow? I know you're doing 7th tomorrow. What about Super Rugby, says Brandon? It will depend a little bit on what George is up to. That's going to be the penalty going the way of the Hurricanes. Quick tap taken by Adi Savia. Only 5 metres out from the line and an advantage for offside. Still driving there, Savia. 2 metres out from the line. Jamie Booth goes back across there. Aidan Morgan to Geordie Barrett. Short pass to Proctor. Finds the offloader to Salisi Reasi, who goes for the corner. Tries to flick it on the inside to Kenny Naholo, who looked like he was a little bit lost there for a second there. That's going to be the try, though. Well, the Hurricanes, their 3rd of the match, and that is Aidan Morgan this time, who manages to get himself the try. Yeah, Kenny looked really lost when Salisi Reasi made his way out onto his wing. It's as if he went but I'm supposed to be there. So what do I do now? He kind of just ran next to him. But also, there are 3 primary time zones, and then some states do not do daylight savings in the United States, and 12:49. So yeah, I went the wrong way. I went 20 hours forward rather than 20 hours back, I think. There's my problem there. Yeah, I'll get it one day, Robert. It's quite late for you. Yes. How many of the other games are you going to be watching? Out of curiosity, seeing as we've got more than 12 hours remaining. We've got URC, we've got sevens. USA sevens at the moment have a good crack of going through. All they need to do is beat South Africa, and then they should make their way through to the next stage. And Hamish, it's been 8 months last time you put it put into my live stream. 8 months last time you put into. I assume that's like a comment, maybe, Brandon. Geordie Barrett now 2 from 2. 19 points to 7. I think this one's going to be quite a high-scoring game, just by the looks of it. And Geordie Barrett hits the post. It comes straight back, and that'll make the score remain at 19 points to 7. Already 4 tries in the first 15 minutes of this contest. And, of course, that straight away makes my brain wonder what winning margin is the one that most people feel is going to be the Hurricanes. Yeah, Moana Pasifika already $26 underdogs. For the Hurricanes to win at the moment, the most common numbers are around that kind of 31-point margin for the Hurricanes to be victorious. And also, what will the Highlanders move to? They win tomorrow, says Levi. So currently for the Highlanders, as long as the Rebels don't win tonight, because of course that will change it a little bit, but the Highlanders, if they even win without a bonus point, move up to 8th. So it's quite a drastic jump that they can make if they do get it right up against the Brumbies, although the Brumbies are sitting in second, so it'd be quite the tough ask. And then if the Brumbies win, that slowly closes that gap between themselves and the Chiefs. Tyrell Lomax ball bounces back out onto the side of the Hurricanes. Little bit of a counter up there from Moana Pasifika, but it doesn't look like that ball's going to pop out the way that they wanted to. Geordie Barrett goes off to Aidan Morgan. Proctor now on the outside to Godfrey again. Charges at the line, gets smashed by Latero Tole. Now Artie Savia sells the dummy ball on the inside to Jamie Booth. Got pace. He's got Proctor with him. Doesn't quite find the pass off to him, though. And it's nicely claimed by Moana Pasifika. Being it up back in possession. Loto Nisi moves up to 40 metres out, but the penalty goes the way of the Hurricanes. Jonathan Tamatine thought the penalty was going his way, and he was going to take the quick tap. Be 8 months when in my live stream chat at fact, says Brandon in there. So yeah, it's been a little while, isn't it? I can't believe that we're already 5 months into 2023. It's a bit weird how quick time's going. Like, it's currently 1 week away from when my parents do head off to Fiji for their holiday. My dad's golf tournament, which means I am going to have about 2 weeks of non-stop filming. I think it's going to be the case. A lot of filming, a lot of editing, trying to get everything done each day and just kind of get ahead before the Ashes, because I feel like that's going to be a very busy time on the channel. But we're also going to be doing the Ashes alongside rugby. So it's going to be fun. Now Jacob Devery, another line out throw. And hey, Hamish, this is being played at Mount Smart, New Sky Stadium for this one. I believe that Moana Pasifika, they don't seem like they've had that many home games now that I think about it. I think they've probably had about maybe 4 at this stage of the comp. Hopefully they get a couple more in the near future. I think they may have home field advantage up against, no, it's actually being played in Fiji, the Fijian draw Moana Pasifika game. Now little grubber on behind from Geordie Barrett. The ball pops out the side, so Jacob Booth now fires it back to Kenny Naholo. Sees the line, reaches out. I think he was able to score it. I have a bad feeling this is going to become a training drill for the Hurricanes. I hope that's not the case. It just seems like at this stage it's, hey, you can get a try, you can get a try. Everybody gets a try. Right, they're going upstairs here. Okay, Adi Savia just telling the referee there was a knock-on before that. They had a game in Samoa. Says Ed, yeah, they had just the solo game, didn't they, in Samoa, and then the rest of their games have been Mount Smart. Although that game in Samoa, I don't think had the best attendance. unfortunately. Oh, did it brush the line? And this year's going so fast. Rugby World Cup in 4 months away. 2023 is done. Time flies. Says Nate. Yeah, because that's the thing. Would be after the World Cup finishes, we're in about late October, aren't we? Then I think there's still November internationals that take place. And then after that, it's New Year's. We're back into the BBL. We're back to Christmas time. Cricket season's back up and running at that stage. So we're going to have a GoPro cricket. I think we're actually going to be doing some GoPro cricket almost during the World Cup, depending on when we start. Well, the Ashes on this year. Everyone thinks football World Cup and Rugby World Cup, not the Ashes. Well, no one think about that this year, says Brandon. Should be exciting. Do you have a haircut, Hamish? Says Coding. I did, yes. It's a little bit shorter now. I don't know whether it's going to stay this short, but we'll see. I think it's all right at the moment. The good news is it's not in my eyes. Like I had that little patch that kept on going down here and playing with my eyebrow on live streams. It's very annoying. Yeah, it's a bit shorter now. Got it yesterday. Jordy Barrett now lining up this kick. 9 points today. So far for the season, 98. So if he gets this kick over, he's going to be tuning into the Centurion. Jordy Barrett, no pressure on him, of course, and he's missed. So he has to wait till his next kick or he gets the chance. No November tour this year. Here all the way at, says Brandon. Also, yeah, Hamish says Nate. There as well. I think the worst thing about the Ashes is going to be the time zone. We were lucky 2 years ago because we got to have the Ashes at normal New Zealand time. This Ashes is going to be at England time, which I mean is fair, isn't it? So you guys Aussie had the last one. It's just going to be a sucky, like kind of wake up in the afternoon after doing streaming till about 6 a.m. When is the Blues Crusaders game? That will be at 7 p.m. tonight. So in 2 hours' time, we get to see the Crusaders taking on the Blues. Now, nice step there from Finney Anisi. Pretty decent start to this contest so far. Yeah, just looking through at all of the information about the Hurricanes for this match in terms of like Salisi Reasi to score a try is paying $1.50, which is very low for a try scorer. Do you see England favourites for the Ashes or Aussie have a chance? Says Coding. Normally home side do have that little bit of favouritism, but I mean Aussie haven't been firing that well lately. I'd say England probably like 52% favourites over Aussie who are sitting 48%. Like that's my percentage at the moment because Bazball, it can be effective, but then it can also like not be effective. We've only seen it not be effective about once though. So I'm curious to know how that ends up going for them. And this guy, Mr. Coding, why are you, sir? Says Nate. And Awesome says Blues Nate. So, in fact, do they have the Ashes on the like betting sites so that we can work out what the overall outright and fixtures? The Ashes, here we go. This is what we're after. So England to win the Ashes is $1.87. Aussie to win a $2.50. So that's probably about a maybe 60-40 split, somewhere around there. And is Ruben Love back? Not at this stage. It is Aidan Morgan in the starting lineup for this matchup. Looking through at the Hurricanes bench, it is Peter Umaga Jensen and Josh Morby. So no Ruben Love at this stage. Now Jonathan Tamatine, 5 meters out from the line here for Moana Pasifika. Danny Tuala almost goes through, but he's tackled by Kinina Holo. Jordy Barrett over the ball, gives away the penalty. Bit of obstruction, I think they've called there for Brendan Pickerel. Can't bump the clean in 9, so there is a penalty against Jamie Booth. He looks confused. Now Lincoln McClutchy once again will be kicking this one for the corner. See, that's the thing. The Hurricanes may score a lot of tries in this match. It's just the case of how many do they allow Moana Pasifika to also score throughout this contest, because if they get it quite wrong, they could lose the chance of getting their bonus point here. Said that Jamie Booth obstructed the cleaner, which stopped Moana Pasifika's forward getting onto it as quickly as he would have liked, which then allowed the gap for Jordy Barrett, I believe is what they have called. Now Moana Pasifika throwing it in again, nicely taken. The rolling maul about to start. It looked like for a second Sione Tuipulotu was keen to have the carry. Now offloads it back to Latiro Tole. Let's play up north in the Bunnings NBC. Nice attack and run from Henry Taifu, already scored 1 try so far throughout this fixture. Now another big carry forward by Lindemuth. Short ball. Anisi gets closer again. That is Lotu. Anisi. Now Sione Tuipolotu drove him backwards. Now he was at Auckland for the Bunnings EBC, but then I think he might have changed teams because he was looking like a Blues prospect. Went to Moana Pasifika. How can you 2 live stream at 1 on StreamYard? They only let you have 1 live stream on at once, says Brandon. Very sneaky. That's how. Nah, it's pretty much just I set up one and then I set up another and then just go live on both. I think they've got the capabilities of that happening. That's going to be against Duplessis Karifi this time. He gives the referee the thumbs up, says, yeah, I might have lost my footing a little bit there. Oh, no, it's actually an offside penalty. Duplessis Karifi, once again, giving the thumbs up to the ref, though. He's happy enough to be out there. He's going, stop showing me. I wasn't the one who gave away the penalty. So Jonathan Tamatino looking for the quick tap here. This is a fast tempo for both of these sides, though. Now, going to be out wide. Lincoln McClutchy goes to Danny Tawala. Now looping pass on the outside. It's another try. Or was it? I thought he dropped that. They might have to show it again, but I think it is going to be the try for Angelo Tuatavuki. Moana Pasifika, they are still, that's the thing. They may have conceded 4 tries, but they've still got themselves 2, and they're still in this, if that makes sense. Like, they are, but they aren't. They can't afford to allow the Hurricanes to score as many tries as they have, but they also are still scoring. So it could end up being about a 50-point contest at half-time. We're only 24, 25 minutes in at this stage of the match. Certainly makes the game fly by when you've got kicks coming in. Yeah, 25 minutes through at the moment, 24 points to 12 for Moana Pasifika. Like they've said, you got to love the attitude of Moana Pasifika to go, okay, well, if we're conceding, we're going to be scoring as well. Right, we will go like this. We will go like that. Here we go. Now, it's going to be Linga McClutchy. 1 from 1 so far today. Taking some deep breaths there. And bringing it round a little. Oh, no, it just drifted away at the last moment. That will keep the score at 24 points to 12 in favor of the Hurricanes. Now, that might have been a kick that they quite needed just to try and keep that pressure on the Hurricanes. It means that they need to successfully convert their next 2 tries while not allowing Moana Pasifika to get any more. Oh, no, that's a drop ball. That was bad. Unfortunately for Team Whainaunuku, the ball went straight through its hands. And I was Hamish Mitchell on my channel. We need to do interviews. Everyone loves you on my channel after the Rugby World Cup, says Brandon in there. Well, the good news about after the Rugby World Cup is it's going to be a lot quieter, I believe. But not really quieter in terms of less streams and whatnot, but just slightly quieter in terms of week work, if that makes sense. Or probably the opposite, sorry. Less streams, more work week. But as soon as there's only like maybe 3 or 4 games a weekend, that's normally when we get a little bit more time to be able to get out and about and also kind of do more stuff outside of the channel. If that makes sense. Is that a sentence? I feel like my brain's still half asleep. I'm waking up slowly though, which is good news. And with the amount of tries, 6 tries already scored throughout this fixture. I think this is going to be another opportunity for the Hurricanes. It's going to be Kini Naholo now charging at the line, goes all the way, scores his 2nd try of the match. It's just a bit too easy. I know that the Northern Hemisphere, they will be getting ready to type in their comments on Instagram, Facebook, and etc., saying, where is the defense in Super Rugby? That is 7 tries in the first 27 minutes now. That is unheard of. We could have, like I mentioned, 10 tries in the first half, or 50 points in the first half between the 2 sides. Kini Naholo, though, just breaking through. Moana Pasifika, they did just score themselves a try, but now they have conceded a pretty soft one, unfortunately for them. Like this, like that as well. Through at the benches, that's the thing. This game's going to be just out and out pace for full 80 minutes. So I was looking there at the benches The options, Josh Morby. Later on in the contest, we will get to see him out and about running. Peter Umanga Jensen. Like, this pressure will not slow down. Now, Geordie Barrett once again lining up another kick to bring up his 100th point in Super Rugby. Oh, he's missed it again. Come on, Geordie. We're trying to give you the big hype up for the century. But that will be another miss from Geordie Barrett. 29 points to 12 now the score, though, in this contest. King Naholo doing very well there. Celebrations there from the Hurricanes. The thing is, at this stage, this game, they're trying to work out what the score is going to be at the end. I can see them. I enjoy watching how the odds kind of fluctuate and change throughout the contest. And the TOB, their heads are spinning at 1,000 miles an hour because they have no idea how to call this game. They don't know if this pace is going to keep up for the full 80, whether this is just a first half thing. Big shot coming in on Finney and Nisi now. Jonathan Tamatine rolling this ball back. In fact, he's gone off to the right-hand side. Big opportunity again now for Moana Pasifika to try and fire back. Going to the left, it's going to be Tuanga Fasi. Puts up the kick. That's gone 3 meters. Also, not the greatest kick he's ever done now. Taken by Kini Naholo. Takes it to ground here. Jamie Booth. Now going across to the left, or in fact, sorry, the right. Here comes Artie Savia. Find the offload away to Tyrell Lomax, the big man. Has got the potential of scoring a try in this contest as well. I think everyone does at this stage, whether you're on Moana Pacifica's side or the Hurricanes. Nice wide ball to Pasika though. Ball has gone through his hands. Now, going to be picked up by Moana Pasifika for another crack. Off to the right-hand side. Going across here, Linga McClutchy now out to Denny Tuwala. A step coming from Tima Whaiananuku. As for Manawatu. And the Bunnings NBC rush defense from Jamie Booth doesn't work out. They went with the more lobby pass over the top. Now it's going to be Ezekiel Lindemuth. Another carry. Now Tamatine, a bit of a counteract there from, is that Geordie Barrett under there? Trying to counteract. Yeah, it was. They played Geordie Barrett getting in there and a breakdown. Then he knew it wasn't quite going to be turned over. Still wanted to try it out. Nicely taken by Aidan Morgan inside of his 22. Don't think we're going to see a lot of kicks for touch throughout this contest. I think it's going to be more of the case of if you're kicking for touch, it's more of the 50-22 opportunities. And that was almost brilliantly done by Aidan Morgan. Cleaned up though. And now Anisi has put it into touch. In fact, that's Alosio in number 15 rather than Finney Anisi. My apologies. Just kept it in the field of play. Tomasi Alosio, he looks a little bit different from last season. I think he had different coloured hair. Maybe, or the shorter haircut might have been the case for Tomasi Alosio. Now, going to be Morgan back across to Duplessis Karifi again. Oh, it's a penalty to Moana Pasifika. It seems like it's going to be one of those days that maybe doesn't go Duplessis Karifi's way. He's already had one drop ball, one penalty against him in the breakdown being shown on the big screen again. It's going to be one of those days. But we are already 31 minutes through this fixture. Now Lincoln McClutchy will be kicking this one downfield into touch. Good kick from him as well. Yeah, the double hit on Duplessis Karifi, one on each side. And then just got there in time for what have been Pinatoa Finau. Now Latiro Tulai on this ball, and it's gone over the top nicely, taken at the back by Tui Pilotu. Every time I see Moana Pasifika match, they're always trailing in behind. As it a weak team in this league, they are at the moment sitting bottom of the table. They're quite a new side in the competition. This is only their second year, still trying to find their footing in terms of what works for them, what doesn't. That's a great steal, I believe. No. Duplessis Karifi disappointed with that one. Thought that he had the turnover one now, or ripped away by Kini Naholo. Goes off to Blackwell now. Ball off to Geordie Barrett. Good hands from him now. Duplessis Karifi passes off Tyrell Lomax to Aidan Morgan now. Looking for the 50-22 again, and there is an acre of space back there. It goes into touch about 30 meters out from Moana Pasifika's line. Yeah, there's certainly going to be space. When there's this much attacking rugby from both sides, there's always going to be that gap in the back as the players are more up in that line trying to stop that next line break. Morgan's seen the space well, just didn't quite get it to the 50-22, but still a very good kick downfield from the young Hurricanes fly half. Latiro Tolai, another line out throw here. On it long. Almost one that they didn't have to jump for there. That was an awkward one to leave. It's picked up by Tuatafuki. Lost his headgear and still going for it. Finds the offload away to Nakuru. Now Tamatine. Back into the pocket to Lincoln McClutchy, who himself will return fire with a big kick downfield. And it is a good kick. Still rolling. Going to go right into the in-goal area of the Hurricanes. You would think that this would be the time to kick this one for touch, and they do decide that is the thing to do. Godfrey gets it out, and it's about 38 metres out now. Moana Pacifica, another line-out chance. There's been a lot of line-outs throughout the early stages of this contest. I think that's about the 6th one that we've had so far throughout the first 34 minutes. Now Latiro to lay again. Another chance. On the ball in, nicely stolen by Isaiah Wakaliawiri. Bit of a rough pass to Kanina Hollow. It was a bounce pass, but it worked out in the end. Now Geordie Barrett goes out to Proctor. Godfrey's on his outside in the quick hands to Reasi, but Reasi was not over the touchline. It didn't quite work out for the youngster, and now it means that there's another opportunity for Moana Pasifika line out time. What's up, bro? Says Cullen. Welcome in, mate. You are doing very well. High-scoring first half for these two sides. Already 7 tries scored throughout the first 35 minutes, which means if that continues throughout this match, we're going to get 16 tries in this contest. 16 times 5, you're looking at 80 points even without the conversions. Tiro Tale throws it in, nicely claimed this time by Moana Pasifika. Now Henry Taifu, second down, short side. Latiro Tolai thought about the offload, but it is tackled by Devon Flanders. Now Jonathan Tamatine goes now off to Lincoln McClutchy. Good attack and run again from Moana Pasifika. Jonathan Tamatine goes to the left. Good hands there from Ezekiel Lindenmuth. Be able to take it. Bit of a counter ruck there from Devon Flanders. Doesn't work out from, although that was almost a little knock on the ground from Jonathan Tamatine. Wanga fussy with the carry. Now off to the left-hand side. Lincoln McClutchy goes to Sione Tuipulotu. Off to the right again for Moana Pasifika. This is good phase play. This is probably the most phases we have seen from Moana Pasifika throughout this contest so far. Tamatine again goes off to the right. Latiro Tolai. Jamie Booth in the breakdown loses his footing. Tamatine again going off to the right. Now nice run from Tima Whaina Nuku. Got a bit of tightrope walking right next to the sideline. Now Tuala hesitant with the pass due to the rushing up of Jamie Booth again. Now 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Going to the left, Latiro Tolai again. It seems like Moana Pasifika maybe only inches, phases off their next try. Although Jamie Booth, he's knocked that ball on. And we'll now be going back for the scrum feed for Moana Pasifika. Yeah, if this game is going to fly by like this and the rest of the games fly by like this as well, we are going to have a quick 14 hours of rugby, ladies and gentlemen. We've got this game. Then at 7 p.m., we are covering Crusaders versus the Blues. That is going to be an epic New Zealand Super Rugby clash. After that, we've got the Sevens, the first game being Samoa taking on Australia, followed by Great Britain versus Argentina, South Africa versus USA, and Fiji versus France. To close it out, that is at 12:11, I believe it is, on the clock. Then at 2 a.m., we have got the URC semi-final between Connacht and the Stormers. Then after that, I believe we've got a 4 a.m. quarterfinal of the Sevens that we will be covering. And then after that one, we have got another matchup that we are covering on the channel. That will be the game between Leinster and Munster. I believe that's all of the rugby we've got on today. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got more of the Sevens, including the semi-finals and the finals. Now, Jonathan Tamatine feeds the ball in here. Big scrum from the Hurricanes. Little grubber attempted there. Geordie Barrett swats it away. But now Danny Tuala, he's close to being over. Yes, he's got it down. And Tuala gets the try for Moana Pasifika. And that will be try number 8 in this half of rugby. It's very entertaining half of rugby. It just seems like everyone's going to go back and forth. Plenty of tries coming. Good scrum. Salisi Rayasi, he rushed up early. Unfortunately for him, though, he ended up in no man's land, and that meant that Artie Savia had to try and make that tackle. It's going to be relatively tricky for him to do so as well. He almost dragged him back. Danny Tuala got it on the line. Now, with 1 minute 30 remaining in the half, we may still see another try in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. This game has been all about attack. And yes, we've had a few stoppages, but none have really slowed down the game massively. It's great to see it. Similar to what we saw between the Chiefs and the Reds. Hey, Cuz, I got home from rugby. How'd you go, Paddy? Did your team end up victorious? I was actually very tempted to go down and watch the local team play today, but I ended up sleeping in just a bit further, mainly because their game was starting at about 1 p.m. So I decided to sleep in, get those couple extra hours because I thought I might need them by the end of the night. McClutchy down the middle. They'll make the score now 29 points to 19. So I know the Hurricanes have played a very good first half in terms of their attack, but Moana Pasifika are still hanging in this. They're only 10 points behind at the moment. Just lost 22-17 in the final few minutes. Here's Padza. It does happen though, doesn't it? Those last minute losses. I'm sure next time you've got a close game, you should be able to take it out. So you're lock, Paddy, if I'm not wrong. Am I correct in that? Or are you in the loose forward trio? And also, how's your knee going? Or your calf, I think it was, sorry, your shin from your sprig marks. 18 seconds remaining. Hurricanes once again going to go for another attack here. Kanina Holo goes off to Geordie Barrett. Taken down there on the halfway line. Now Jamie Booth goes across to Artie Savia. Morgan with the quick hands now. Inside ball from Godfrey back to Morgan. Stolen in the breakdown, or at least it should have been a penalty to Moana Pasifika. The referee says play on, though. Artie Savia taken down. Bit of a counter ruck there as well. Jamie Booth, though, still available here. Back to Billy Proctor. I'd like to think they won't kick this one into touch. I want to see one last attack here. It looks like they will be trying to go out wide. Kanina Holo had Duplessis Karefi with them, decided against using them. And lock and flanker. Let's give my thumb now as the issue. They held up fine too, so there's good news for you. Godfrey, big shot coming in on him again. It's going to be the advantage, though, for offside. Jamie Booth around the side of the breakdown here for the Hurricanes. And Blackwell goes back to Jacob Devery, who hasn't actually had a huge amount to do throughout this match due to so many quick taps and whatnot being taken by both sides. No real line-out opportunities for Devery at this point. They're going back for the original penalty in favour of the Hurricanes. I'd like to think they wouldn't take the 3 points here. It doesn't really gain them anything other than being hit by 13 rather than 10. Even though the forwards are tired, I think you put this in the corner. You give Devery a good crack off the back. Some good tackles and good support play and a few good ones or good runs. Badza, yep, they are going to be kicking for the corner here. Geordie Barrett. Hurricanes thinking they've got a pretty good crack of getting themselves another try before the end of the half. Although that wasn't the best kick from Barrett. Only gets them to about maybe 20 metres out from Moana Pacifica's line. And fitness is getting there. The lungs are burning by the end. Although that just means you've tried as well. Like if you've got good fitness and you still have that burning in the lungs, that means that you've gone out there and at least you've done what you could have. That's going to be swatted back. Blackwell now. Moana Pasifika look like they want to have another crack. Straight over the ball, though. Duplessis Karefi got the turnover. Oh, hands on the ground first. Karefi's been penalised heavily in this game, and I feel bad for him because he hasn't gone that badly. It's just more the referee's just been watching him like a hawk. And I am the undisputed god of rugby, and the Hurricanes will win by 26 points, says Mark. Is that before or after they concede another 4 tries? Big question. As I played all 3 games so far, 80 minutes. Says Padza, but the Moana Pasifika side, they decide to kick that one into touch, and we are now at half-time in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. The lead is 29 points to 19. So it's an interesting one. That is for sure. And also the Black Fern are world champions, says Ed Smith. They certainly are. And I should mention that the women's sevens taking place at the moment. New Zealand getting off to a good start once again. Looking forward to calling maybe one of their games tomorrow, I believe, is the earliest we'll be able to call it with all of the overlaps that we have got coming up in the near future. Yeah, it's going to be a good day of rugby. Also up the effing Canes. Let's go. After is 31 points. There's a mark, Blue. Yeah, there's so much rugby on at the moment. And I think next weekend's a little bit the same, although the only difference is we got one Champions Cup final rather than two URC quarterfinals. We might end up, depending on the semi-final way that it is set out, we might end up having one of the Gallagher Premiership semi-finals on the channel tomorrow as well. Quite a hectic time, but it's good. Crusaders versus Blues just around the corner. That is kicking off in 1 hour and 40 minutes time. Then after that one, like I mentioned, we've got a few games of the sevens, which always flies by, which is always a great thing with the sevens. When you do one or two games, all of a sudden you're like an hour and a half later and you're at the URC quarterfinals. That is the benefit that we have got so far in this matchup, though. We've seen a lot of tries. 19 points for Moana Pasifika, 29 for the Hurricanes. 9 tries in total, I believe we are up to now. Or 8. Might be 8. Yeah, might be 8. We'll go with 8 anyway. They'll prove otherwise. But yeah, 8 tries being scored throughout that first half, which means we could see 16 tries throughout the match. Already in this contest, we have had 48 points scored. Both sides looking to bring up that 100. Could be just around the corner. How are you guys feeling about Crusaders Blues? Do you think it's going to be a close fixture, or do you think one side will be able to run away with it? It's taking place at Orange Theory Stadium, so home field advantage for the Crusaders. Looking through at the lineups that both of those sides have gone with, what we can do here is we can go like this. Have a quick look. Like they've pretty much gone with their, I want to say their number one sides, both teams. Noah Kiriawani in that loose forward trio for the Blues, but I believe he will be coming off the bench. Bowden Barrett, Caleb Clark, Harry Plummer at 12, Rico Ioane, Mark Talia, Zahn Sullivan. So a pretty strong backline. Same for the Crusaders. They've got Will Jordan back, Richie Moonga, Lester Faina Nuku, Cullen Grace playing at number 8. See him in action. Canes by 39. Says Batson, Crusaders by 15, says the Flying Pan Man. And up the Blues by 29, says Batson. Tell you what, if they bet the Crusaders by 29 points, that would be absolutely massive for them. I know that when the Chiefs bet the Crusaders by 10 points, people were like, that's huge. Yeah, 29 points would be absolutely massive. Who knows? Jack Goodhue off the bench, AJ Lamb, Bryce Heem, a lot of good players that are on. If the Crusaders, we are different. We need different to win this year. Says Bedza. Different team, says Petty. There as well. Although by the looks of it, the way that the table's sitting, there's a chance that it could be Hurricanes versus Crusaders in the quarterfinal, Petty. That would be an interesting contest, isn't it? Do you think that they would go all right? That's the thing. It could be a home game for the Canes, though. That's how close we are at the moment. I like how on my sheet of who's playing where, it's got Jack Goodhue playing as the replacement lock as well as in the backs. Who do you think makes the super quarters? At the moment, with the way that the table sits, making the quarterfinals, I'm going to say straight away, Chiefs quarterfinals, Brumbies, Blues, Crusaders, Hurricanes. They're the guarantees at the moment for me. The Reds, with that big win over the Chiefs, have upped themselves quite a bit. So they move up to 6th. So I want to say they've almost secured it. And then Waratah's down. Actually, no, I'll take that back. Depending on how the Waratahs Rebels game goes, depends on who else is wide open. But I'll say the Reds are a strong enough time for a team to get through those quarters. Same with the Waratahs. And then it's between the Highlanders, the Fijian Draw, the Force, and the Rebels who are all fighting for that final spot. And out of those teams, I feel like it's going to be either the Highlanders or the Drua. Maybe, just because I want to see the Drua go far because of how well they have improved from last season. But then the Force are probably the safer option for who's in that top 8. It'd be a miracle if Auckland beat Canterbury. See, there's Ice Cartel in there. And the good news is, game's only about an hour and 40 away, so we will soon know how that contest goes. But yeah, normally the Crusaders, like they've already had 3 losses this season, which is more than they normally get. And draw that consistency, they do. And the problem that they've got is they've only got one more home game. So that's going to be the tricky one there. And I'll say, how come George can be rude? I can't. And this is Nuzzy Williams. Did you put a comment and it didn't get put through? Maybe. Although I feel like your rudeness is always banter. It's not like actually attacking the players or anything, isn't it? Like George in this game, if the Crusaders lose to the Blues, if anyone tries to like wind George up, he will bite. That's what we know about that man. He likes the Crusaders, but he doesn't like when they lose a little bit more. Rugby's to the top of the table, maybe. Not quite, I don't think. I think with the fact that they've still got to win 2 games with a bonus point to catch up to the Chiefs, and then after that, still get another victory on top of that without the Chiefs getting a single point. They've only got 3 more rounds to do it. I don't think they'll quite get there. Fortunately, of course, mate. Love everyone, even my enemies and the haters. I will fight them. Says Bedza there. Kicking meters. 316 for the Hurricanes. 271. We've seen 4 line breaks from the Canes as well. At the moment, the lineouts. We've had 13 lineouts throughout that first half. So that is quite a few for one half of rugby. Normally, you don't even have 13 lineouts throughout the whole match. I think Reds versus Chiefs might have had like 7, something along those lines. Second half just around the corner. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like it's going to be a good half of rugby, and I hope that it continues being high scoring, even though, of course, at some stage I want it to get that a little bit closer. Like if Moana Pasifika score the first try here in the second half, like they're still in this contest. They're only 10 points down at the moment. Like they're $21 underdogs. And George can go, mate. I wouldn't underestimate and says Nazi Williams. Me versus George. Who are you guys back? And I mean, you guys are probably in different weight classes, I would assume. Mainly because, I mean, we've seen that picture of your leg and it isn't quite as chunky as George's calf is. So you guys are probably in different weight divisions. So normally off that, it depends on how many rounds you're going. Like if you're just in a quick little bang bang, I feel like George is probably quite a safe bet. Don't know your background in terms of fighting or anything like that, but like George is more of that power straight away. And then if it goes to like a 5-minute fight, then you'll slowly maybe have the endurance. And do you think Moana should be based in up here? I think that they should have more home games. I don't know if they'll ever base them out of the islands, maybe not this early on in the comp, which sounds bad, but I feel like they do need their own home where they can be like, this is the ground that we got ourselves our first win, or this is the ground that we started winning games at. Anyways, I'm born and bred in Auckland, go the Blues. How heavy is George? Even I don't know that. I know that he was a bit a while ago because we did a UFC career mode for him. But yeah, I don't know how much he weighs at the moment. But it would be more than you, Patty. No? Mainly because, yeah, just would be. Ushlol, says Nazi Williams. Hurricane supporters in attendance, they are loving the action. Plenty of action throughout that first half. Like I mentioned, 8 tries. I'm 100 kgs. Says Pazza, so yeah, no, you're not even in the same weight division as our boy George. 29 points to 19 at the moment. If there is 8 more tries in the second half, certainly going to be plenty of points up for grabs. I kind of want to see a 100-point Super Rugby game. Have we had one of those yet? I'm going to look back through, see if we've had a 100-point game. I know we've had a few pretty high-scoring games, like the game between the Chiefs Highlanders, for example, a couple of weeks ago. That was 80 points. We've had a couple 70-plus point games. That's 71. That's 80 points. We had a game even higher than the 80. We've had 76. Oh, okay. 87 points in the Hurricanes versus Force. That's currently the front runner for the most points being scored. Did you know the last time these two sides played, Hurricanes won 59-0? So that is quite the number there. Oh, okay. 98 points in the game between the Brumbies and Moana Pasifika. I believe, now that I think about it, that was the most points that were scored. So 98 points in a game of Super Rugby. Let's see whether or not this game offers up more. If it continues the way that it's going, it would be just below. It depends on power. Game, I'm pretty strong myself. Speed is definitely in my favor. Oh, I don't know. George is pretty quick. Like, it's deceptive how quick George is because he used to do quite a bit of running and also he did used to play a bit of rugby. So, like, over a short distance, Like he's pretty quick. I think George would break the scale if he tried to wait. No, he's not that heavy. Like, and the thing is, it's a little bit deceptive, George's weight, because he has got quite a bit of muscle because he's a farm boy. So farm boys always have that hard, like farm build, if that makes sense. So like he's got a bit round the guts, I guess you could say. But overall, like he's pretty muscly for a guy his size, if that makes sense. Like he's got a decent build. He's got some good strength to him. Like he can chuck you around like a rag doll if he needed to. Trust me, he ain't fast. There's Badzer. Trust me, you've only seen him sit on a live stream. He's fast. Like you have him on one side of the room, he'd be there. Boom, there he goes, right up in your face. But the thing is, he knows how to use his power as well. Yeah, I think you guys have only seen. I don't even know what you guys have seen of him. Probably just sitting and then getting up. I'm also from farming background. Says Badzer there. I mean, if you want us to say you'll beat him for your ego's sake, we can say that if that helps. But it just, it's hard to see happening. George is a decent fellow when it comes to his speed. Like I saw him wrestle someone in the hallway at high school, and they were. This was like a big Tongan bloke as well. He was like, "Yeah, I have a wrestle with him," and they were bloody slinging each other around. He was throwing the guy into a locker, or not into it, but like, he's got the ability that if he gets you by your collar, you're going flying. I was like, it really just underestimates me. Says it Beds Blaze. Well, that's because it's the internet, isn't it? Like you could say you've got a 7-inch reach advantage over George, and I'd have to believe you because I can't see it. Like, you could say that your arms are 20 centimeters longer, and I'd have to be like, okay, fair enough. You could say that you're extremely quick over a dash, but that could be like 2 meters. I come down time and show myself. Says Bads Blaze. I feel like that would be a bit pointless, really, because like then all it's doing, like you're just starting a fight for the sake of starting a fight. Like you come down and then what? Like let's say that he wins or you win, then what do we do? We say it on one live stream, everyone forgets it. We go, remember that one time that Paddy beat George, or the one time that George beat Paddy? Everyone will go, no. And we go, okay, well that was fun. And George sounds like a Lucy number 8. Says, or Lucy or Lousy. Lucy number 8. He used to be in the centres and he used to play fullback as well for his side. And he used to cover quite a bit of turf. That's the thing, like he's a large boned individual, but he goes for runs and whatnot. Like he's a decent enough fitness wise, I'd say. Run at me, Blaze, says Obi. Where you at? Okay, so now we're just fighting everyone, are we? And also, I won't lie, my reach isn't the best. Says Padza. Now Moana Pasifika just interviewing their coach at the halftime, Leota Filo Tia, or the assistant coach, sorry. And I mean, one try here for Moana Pasifika. They're back into this contest. That's how quick paced and how, I think, to a certain extent, well, Moana Pacifica have gone. They could have been out of this contest. He hasn't loose forward. Says Isaac Cartel, or Ice Cartel. And also, who's fighting? Where's the Aroha? Love you. Says, Nazi, he'll try and fight you next, Nazi. He won't like the fact that you're being all happy. Chris Gibbs. Soft offsides and whatnot, they've said. All I know is no matter who tries to fight me, like I ain't winning, mainly because like I ain't punching no one. Like, I feel like it's just like I don't have it in me. Even punching a punching bag, I'd probably say sorry afterwards. The changes, none made for the Hurricanes. He'll kick me ass, mate, says Nuzzy Williams. Now, there's one change made. Izzy Tuanga Fussy. He's gone off over Chris Apua. Sup. Says Amelia. Welcome in, Amelia. Keep him well. Rebels playing later on tonight up against the Tars. Very excited for it. Should be a good game. Both of those sides fighting off for that number 8 or so position. Should be good. Sadly, we aren't covering that game, though. We are covering Aussie playing the Samoa Sevens, or the Aussie Samoa Sevens game, I should say. Now, kick downfield. Nicely taken there. Now, the step from Proctor. I made a little progress today. I cleaned my room. You are one step ahead of me then, because I still need to clean mine from about 4 months ago. She's a pigsty in there. The thing is, I don't really go in my room though, other than to sleep, you know? Like, other than sleeping, I am not in my room at all. And don't burn the eggs on the stove, Nazi, like it running. And what if Justin Bieber face is on the punching bag? He's not that bad now. Like, I feel like a lot of people used to hate it. Oh, what a steal that is, plucked out of thin air. By Sione Tui Palotu, that's a knock on in the breakdown. But it becomes a penalty behind the foot. Yeah, but he knocked it on, ref. But it's going to be a penalty to Moana Pasifika. I can kill a fish, though. I was just saying respectfully. Yeah, I could almost. I said sorry when I did it. Yeah. Get in there and go, Moana Pasifika. Says non mum. Oh, yeah, just fell into the challenge. Good work in the breakdown. I'm making a new setup for my room. Hence why I'm stuck between getting a new desk or a gaming chair. Future streaming. Gaming chairs are a tricky one. I would definitely recommend going to a shop and trying out a chair rather than just getting one online. That's one bit of advice I have because I bought one online and it was the most uncomfiest thing I've ever sat on. So like that's why I'm on this wooden kitchen chair at the moment. But like if you can find a decent, even an office chair, like it doesn't have to be a gaming chair. I feel like gaming chairs sometimes are priced higher because people are like, oh, it's a gaming chair. But yeah, if you can find a good office chair that you can sit on and maybe rotate in, you'd be good to go, I would say. That is going to be a successful kick from Moana Pasifika. They decided to go for the 3 points there, which now puts them back to 7 behind. Nicely kicked off. Gaming chairs are so 2015. Yeah, I was just too effing lippy. And did you see the NASA balloon today? I did not. I was sleeping during the day. Whereabouts was it? Was it on like YouTube or something? Cloudy here, so I assume it wasn't in the sky around us, or it might have been, seeing as you are down in Oamaru. Partially charged down now. Geordie Barrett running at the line. I think the Hurricanes are all getting a little bit try hungry here. There's not a lot of passing going on anymore from their team. My husband is still looking for a new chair. They are so expensive. He wants one with a back or high back and headrest. So, like, you can look at somewhere like Warehouse Stationery, but it's the question of whether or not it's going to be a good chair. Like, George got his from Warehouse Stationery, and he said it's the best chair that he sat on in ages, mainly because he did have a gaming chair, and he was like, nah, it's not great. Geordie Barrett, 5 meters out from the line now. Jamie Booth off now to the short side, dragged down. Kenny Naholo, well, he's not passing the ball, is he? Now, Jamie Booth on off to Duplessis Karefi. In fact, he skips him. Goes to Lomax and said there's going to be an advantage. I figured out what games I want to get for the PS4. What games you going for, Amelia? Let me know. Isaiah Wakaliwere goes back to Jamie Booth. Now Salisi Rasi look for the offload. Didn't quite get it away. They'll go back for the penalty. And come on, Canes, get it right. Here's a Petty. Yeah, a lot of mistakes coming here from the Hurricanes. Also, I'm getting Red Dead 2, Hogwarts Legacy. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Lego City Undercover, and GTA Definitive Edition. Nice. Quite the collection. My brain fell out on the field. I can't type. Says Banter. Oh! Is that Artie Savia? Yes, it is. Artie Savia scores the try for the Hurricanes. First forward to score for the Hurricanes? I think it is. All the backs have been having all the fun, but Savia now gets himself his first try. It was a nice pop pass up to him, though. Been a Red Dead twice, Lego City twice, still yet to beat Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the others listed. Says Amelia. See, that's the thing I need at some stage. I've talked about it for ages. I need like a Let's Play channel where I just play through games that I want to play that I don't get the chance to do outside of playing for videos, if that makes sense. Like if we had a Kiwi Lads Let's Play or something and I could just play, like I have about 5 Assassin's Creed games that I've never played that I buy when they're on special and go, yeah, I'm going to play it and then never play it. That kick's gone over from Geordie Barrett. That will now make the score 36 points to 22. And that is now Geordie Barrett's 100th point for the Super Rugby Pacific. Oh, I don't know if Savia actually got that ball down. Looking at that now. It was very close. Last of Us 3, please. Says OBC, I haven't played The Last of Us 1 and 2 at this stage. And like they said, forwards do the ugly stuff, backs to the sparkles. I want to do a Rugby Challenge 3, be a pro career mode. So we'll need to figure out how the heck to stream from a PS4. I think they have an option on PS4, don't they? In terms of being able to either live stream directly from your PS4 to YouTube. I've seen quite a few people do it that way, or your other options in Elgato to be able to stream through that service. Now it's going to be kicked downfield. All looking for the 50-22. Aidan Morgan cuts it off nicely. Now puts the boot of his own downfield. That's a nice banana kick. Gets it down into the half of Moana Pasifika, but now a 14-point difference. I think Moana Pasifika may come to regret taking that 3 points rather than going for the 7. Six minutes gone in the second half. Nakuru with the call. Goes in nicely. And then Tamatini now going across. I'm getting good Dr. Seasons 1 to 5 on DVD because I watched the first season last night on Disney Plus and I really enjoyed it. Do they have all the seasons on Disney Plus, or is that just because you want the DVD collection to grow a little bit more? Now, Godfrey kicks it downfield. It's a good kick. Goes down to the 22. Lincoln McClutchy now looking to run this one out. Thought about the pass on the outside. Now Jonathan Tamatini, 40 meters out from the line. Big run here from, I believe, it is going to be Kalamatangi and number 17. And the penalty, take the player to ground. Penalty goes the way of the Hurricanes. And I'm also going to get the horror movie X on DVD. I have to order that one because there ain't no way I'm getting an ID for that, says Amelia K. I assume it's an 18 plus then. Have you got any other ID other than, I guess you could take your passport and be like, yay, I'm old. I'm older than 18. Ranger looking concentrated. He was unlucky last week. They should have won that game up against the Blues, but that 5 meter out penalty try against them really cost them the got all season on Disney Plus, but I want to expand my collection, says Amelia. I mean, nicely taken by Zaya Wakaliwere. Now Karifi off the back goes to Geordie Barrett. Wrestled down. Karifi get into the breakdown quickly. He's had a bad game in some regards, but he's also been pretty solid, if that makes sense. Like, he's had a couple penalties against him and whatnot, but he's still been doing enough, I think, in this game. 10 meters out from the line now. Jamie Booth goes across to Artie Savia. They've got another advantage this time for offside. I would like to see Karifi score, though, just because I think he almost deserves one, and he's going well there. Only 5 meters out from the line. Good attack and run. Jamie Booth off to Proctor. All he has to do is get that ball down. He's fallen on his back, though, so they'll be going back for the original advantage. I don't have my passport, and I'm scared of flying. I would expect my chances of ever going to see Phantom Les Mis in London, says Amelia K. Have you ever been on a plane before, Amelia, or are you just scared of the idea of it? That's the thing. There's so many like plane crash shows and whatnot now that I feel like it makes it get a bad rap in some regards. Now Devery taking the quick tap. Going off now. It looks like Devon Flanders. 1 meter out from the line. Devery around the side. Jumps over. Scores the try. I've never been on a plane, says Amelia there. That is a great try for Jacob Devery. And what's going on? Sounds like my wife there, Nuzzy. Whose name? Devery scores. Hastings Boys High School representative Jacob Devery takes the quick tap originally, then gave it off to Flanders. And they were only a meter out from the line, and all they needed was the finish. Dove over the try line and was enjoying that try. Now the score 41 points to 22. Now I mentioned the highest scoring game of Super Rugby Pacific so far this week is 48. That's a lie. It was 98, I should say. Right. Caleb Delaney now on the field. I'm just looking through who the Hurricanes got off their bench. They've got Caleb Delaney. They've still got Brain and Iosi that they could use at some point throughout this contest. And what high school did you go to, Hamish? I went to the local high school. There's only one in our area, so that was pretty much the only choice, which was Waimate High School. Other than that, there's like you can travel 30 minutes, but it just didn't seem worth it, seeing as I could walk there. I'm just going to get a regular office chair and a footrest for my feet because I tweaked my ankle doing dumb stuff last week. Okay. I'm intrigued at what the dumb stuff was, but if you don't want to say, that's all good. Let's go, Moana, says Blues Nate. We kicked into touch by the Hurricanes, already 65 points. I feel like we need some sort of special thing if they get to 100 points between these two sides in this game. I've been transparent. I don't mind a pole dance on my high or in my high heels and a skirt after a couple. There's Nuzzy Williams. Tell you what, high heels, they must be tough on the feet and the ankles though. Like, I've watched people walk in high heels and I'm like, how are your ankles not broken? Sort of got into a fight during the week, had the guts to jump off something. Okay, fair enough. Like, as in you jumped off something onto them, like an elbow drop or something like that, or like you were jumping away from the fight. Now to Voki, that ball's close to the touchline. I don't know why he tried to keep that ball in there, Godfrey. Bit of a rookie mistake because it now means that Moana Pasifika have now still got the ball in their hands. Should mention we are an hour and 15 or so away from Crusaders versus Blues, the big match of the Super Rugby weekend. A lot of people have been looking forward to it for a long time. Tamatine, quick hands now. Moana Pasifika going short side off to Sione Tuipulotu. I jumped off and away from the fight. I see. Nice. Don't you hate when you get ground shock when you only drop like down this much? I get that a bit. Like randomly, you just get ground shock. I feel like I used to, as a kid, jump off things that were very high and not have a problem with it. Like I jump off just for the sake of jumping off. But now if I try and jump off anything, I feel like my legs would snap in half in behind. Adam Morgan does well to stop that one. And now it's going to be the goal line dropout, which he will take straight away. The forwards won't be appreciating that. That's a big kick from Morgan. Huge amount of space in behind. Going to be chasing it hard himself as well. Nicely cleaned up at the back from Moana Pasifika. Does make the tackle. And also they are, mate, especially with White Island Maori feet, says Nuzzy Williams. I feel like they're the most dangerous clothing accessory you can have. You know? I think that's kind of off the top of my head. I haven't thought about the other ones that you can, of course, have. Like when you look at those stilettos that are like really pointy, hard work. And guys are just game Moana, says Avril. We did have half a crack there, Danny Twala, of putting that ball down. Player leaving feet penalty goes against the Hurricanes. So Moana Pacifica now in possession. Showing off the number 13 on his back. Hold out one. Spam the X, Nuzzy Williams, then release. Spam the X, then release. What game is that? Why should that remind me of something? My brain's gone blank. I'm so uncultured. GTA 5. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Right, couple changes being made. Jacob Devery made us on the field or gone off the field for favour. I don't believe Duplessis Karifi's been taken off the field as of yet, but I believe he will score a try in this match. That is my prediction. And I could theoretically just stream the Be a Pro if I wanted to, says Amelia. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you want to do in terms of whether you want to stream it, whether you want to record it. The other option is to stream it on private and then download that recording and edit that. That's another option that you could go with if you are looking for a way of recording the game. Yeah, you could just stream it on private so that it goes up on YouTube and then just download that recording. Now, Jonathan Tamatine. Sorry, boss. Blame Nazi. Says Blues Nate. Only 10 metres out from the line in Moana Pasifika. We've gone about 4 minutes without a try. Surely one's coming soon with the way that this match has been going. Now, around the side here it comes for Finn now. Is he held up? Just, I think. Time off. They are actually going to go upstairs. We're coming upstairs. I think the original on-field decision will be no try, though. Just need to check that one to see if they were able to get the ball down. This And like this. There we go. But yeah, Fiend now ended up getting turned over onto his back. Oh, was that the ball down? It might have been the ball down there for Fiend now. Does he get this? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, it was on a hand, but what's happened here? Whose hand was it? Salisi Reasi's, I think. I think Salisi Reasi's hands got under there. You're a lot cultured than many, Amish. Your pronouns to the island Maori South African names better than those top commentators on that level. Says Nazi. And yeah, we're going to have a wide spread of what we are covering today. Like, we are going to be covering games involving Samoa, Fiji, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, Ireland. Going to be a lot of name pronunciations. Hopefully they all go smoothly. Argentina as well. Come on, refs. Benefit of the doubt. The try says Nate. Now it's going to be the goal line dropout. No try is the call there. 55 minutes into this contest currently, and still 65 points on the board. Close to getting over for Finau. Rolled onto his back, though, was the deciding factor. I see Porty Rackety Stones. He is on the field. I always get the blame, says Nazi. Off long, allowing that one to bounce. Moana Pasifika can sometimes be risky, but it works out for them that time. Now the big run from Lotu Anisi finds the offload away to the replacement number 20. For this one, which is Mo'u. Now Chris Apua has a bit of a crack forward. He's up to 22 metres out. Tamatine, short ball, off to Nakuru. Back about 4 or 5 metres there as well. Now Finau was close to scoring that try. Missed out in the air. Now McClutchy, big shot on him by Duplessis Karifi. They just don't want to give up this ball, Moana Pasifika. It's actually been, I know that the scoreboard says otherwise, but they haven't had a bad game here. They've actually had some very good phase play. It's just that defense that's let them down a little bit at times. That's a forward pass from Daddy Dwala, but it's going to be a knock on anyway. Now Kenina Holo decides to just let that ball go into touch. And they will have the option of either the scrum or the scrum. So they will take the scrum. They are just showing Crusaders Blues starting very soon. New Zealand time, 7:05. So that will be in 1 hour and 10 minutes time. We'll be covering that one on the channel. After that, we have got some sevens commentary that will be coming up. But I should also mention at 6:30 a.m., we will be having a video go up on the channel. That is the Samoa versus Australia sevens preview. So be sure to keep an eye out for that as well. The Brumbies, they will be playing the Highlanders tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. New Zealand time. We're not too sure whether we are covering that game yet. It will depend a little bit on whether or not George is working and what else is happening for the day. But hopefully we will be able to cover at least either that game or the Premiership Rugby semi-final between Sale Sharks and Leicester Tigers. See that? Pussy made his way onto the field. That is for Tyrell Lomax. All three loose forwards still intact for the Hurricanes. That's gone down on the front row. They've been told to use it off the back, though. Artie Savia now goes up to Kanina Holo. Geordie Barrett back to Proctor. Bit of a loose set play there. They didn't quite get that one right. Moana Pasifika almost able to get that ball back. Now, Devon Flanders hasn't done too much wrong today, just making his tackles, getting those meters when he needs to. Geordie Barrett now going off to the left-hand side. Low tackle made on him. Jamie Booth now looking for the option. Goes off to Billy Proctor. Kinney Naholo with a nice step. Booth again. 40 metres out. Rackety Stones goes to Morgan. Flat ball there to the replacement who has only just made his way onto the field. Busi now. That'll be a nice run from Duplessis Karefi. Booth goes off to Geordie Barrett. Wide ball from Godfrey Salisi Reasi walking the tightrope. Stays in the field of play. Now Flanders wrestled down. This is a good phase play from the Hurricanes. Now a big run from Caleb Delaney. Inside ball, Jamie Booth with a little bit of the flick around the back, and it's going to be the advantage now in favour of the Hurricanes. Offload to Jamie Booth. Right, this is when Duplessis Karifi scores, I think. That's the prediction. Although first they're going to have to drag down Dossi. Finds the offload to Morgan, who tried to jump over the top. The ball is loose, and it's instead going to be the try scored by Salisi Reasi. That is the first time that he has crossed the try line today. And that's the first try in a little while as well for this match. But Aidan Morgan, this is interesting because he tried to jump over the tackle. Now, I remember there was quite a bit of controversy around that a while ago when it was down the wing. Peter Gusto-Akula hurdled over Aaron Smith. Now, this one, how high does he jump? Because if you jump into the tackle, yes, see, in some regards, some referees would have penalised Aidan Morgan there for jumping into the tackle. You're not allowed to do that. And like they've just said on the commentary, Jeff Wilson's just asked the question. If he had jumped and landed over the try line, would it have been awarded as a try? And I don't think it would have. Interesting one, but they do get themselves now the 50 points on the board. It is 50 points to 22. But yeah, launching yourself into a tackle, you're not allowed to do that. NFL, yes, you can go for it. AFL, absolutely. But yeah, Jeff Wilson's not keen on it, what he's just seen. I can hear in the commentary box. 20 minutes remaining, though. 50 points to 22. Looks like Jamie Booth, his night is going to be done. Aidan Morgan, he's had a very good game so far today for the Hurricanes. They will be impressed with that and no too dangerous. And also, I used to butcher heaps of island Māori names because it's how the commentators say their names. Richie Mwanga, Rico Ioni. Yeah, that's how you're saying it, isn't it? Sorry, I was confused there. I love Rugby Itch's pronunciation of some of the names. I enjoy it. Definitely like the South African ones. We always have a bit of a laugh. Like when he pronounces one that's a little bit wonky, we'll actually we'll stop the recording, we'll go back and he'll repronounce it a bit closer. And it's always fun when we record. Because he's one who, what's the name that he struggles with? I think Ioane is one. Dean Faray. Valence Tiware. There's one name that he always struggles with a bit. And I always listen to him say it, and I think, oh no, the comments are going to be rough on him. And Timmy does it well and funny, says, Nate there. Yeah, he just embraces it. Like he goes, yeah, I've pronounced it wrong. So what? But then saying that with his accent, it's harder to get some of them as well. Takiaho. Yep, that is a good one. Takiaho. See, that's the thing. I can't think of how to mispronounce some of these names now, which sounds weird to say, but because I've got so used to saying them, you kind of, you get used to saying them correctly, if that makes sense. A nice wide cutout pass from Denny Tawala. Out on the wing here. I was like, look, it's a 50-22. Indeed. Have we seen one today? We haven't, which is surprising. We've seen a couple of attempts at once. I think we're going to see one or two in the Hurricanes, the Blues versus Crusaders game. I think they'll go with that a little bit. I think Tim might, and now that I think about it, Tim might be joining us after Crusaders Blues for a post-match review. I forgot about that. It's probably lucky we brought up Rugby Itch, or else I would have completely forgotten that up until right after the game. But yeah, he's going to be joining us. I think he's going to be in the library at the time that he joins us. Now it's going to be Tamatine. Oh, drop ball from Tuala. Just a simple error. Losing the concentration there. Now 63 minutes through. I assume George is joining us for that next live stream as well. I haven't heard anything from him as of yet. He was having the first day at work today, working on the yams. He might be quite tired. Sure, even if he doesn't come around, though, he'll be watching this game closely. This game is boring, huh? Now hurry up. We all want to see Satyrs versus Blues. The thing is, first half, very quick, entertaining one for these two sides. Now we've got a few more set plays coming in, or a few more stoppages, lineouts, etc., penalties. So it has slowed down a little bit. But yeah, I think everyone is at that stage of the big game's just around the corner. This game is one-sided. I hope that Moana Pasifika score again. I hope Duplessis Karifi gets a try because I've been saying the whole game that he's going to. And if I get it wrong, I would be sad. But who knows? Hopefully it goes all right. And I was like, yams are mean in the hangi or umu. Says Nazi Williams. Yeah, you might be eating George's yams, which sounds like a dodgy sentence, but you might be. Kick downfield from Salisi Rayasi. Moana Pasifika thought about taking it quickly, decided against it in the end. That was Tamasi Alosio. Said, nope, not doing it. Only 72 points scored. Just remember last time Max from the black jersey tried to correct Timmy. How to pronounce the names. Max trolling Tim. Says Nate. There as well. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The thing with Tim is, he's trying to get it right as well. Like, he's not purposely getting them wrong, and it's not from, like, a lack of trying either. He, like, always tries it, and he ended up trolling Max. Trolling Tim, says Nate. And there as well. Nicely done by Moana Pasifika. I've never eaten yams. Are those the little red, oval, bumpy-looking things? They are. Although you can also get big yams, which are kind of more like, almost look like a kumara a little bit. Like, there's a couple different types, but yeah, more well-known yams are those little red ones. As George in his tractor with sexy gumboots on, though. I'm not sure if he's got the sexy gumboots on, but I think he's got the boots on anyway. Yeah, to be trying us all goods. Says Nate there. Yeah, I feel like it's only like the really angry ones who get offended by bad pronunciations in the comment section. Like, you see it every once in a while. And they're like, oh, how can he get that wrong? Does he even watch rugby? And he probably watches more than them. Nice tackle, mate. Right, Duplessis Karefi, score a try so that I can be like, yeah, I got something correct for this game. Alisi Rayasi. Nice run. Oh, no, they're going to have to stop him. It's gone off Caleb Delaney. Give it to Karefi. He's nowhere near him. It's going to be another one. And also, we have got there, Max goes super savage on you. If you don't agree with his opinion, he's a hard man, all right. He certainly is. Yeah, very hard man. I've seen a comment that he made a while ago towards 2 cents and Distracted Sports and myself, and it's like, yeah, not good. But now, just looking at Salisi Rayasi's carving run there. Goes off to Caleb Delaney. He's only been on the field a little while. And I was like, okay, mate, just curious. There's Nazi Williams. No, I'm sure he's wearing something that you enjoy. He's wearing the short shorts, Nazi. The CCCs, Got the big work boots on. Packed his lunch, I think, as well. I'm curious to know what he got. I think he got some cheese and some ham. He's going to have some sandwiches, I think. George is a G-banger, 3 sizes too small. In his red bands. Put him on a calendar for the ladies, and no look pass from Mayasi. Yeah, it was a good one. Delaney gets the try, though, which is good for him, but I still need Karefi to score just because I want to be right. I always get predictions wrong, and I feel like getting one right now would be a good time to start for the day, Get one right maybe every game I get a prediction right. That would be phenomenal. Here's a prediction. Samoa versus Australia. Oh, they've taken Karefi off. And I'm so pleased to see you, mate. Says, Tony, you too, mate. You're doing all right. High scoring game here between these two sides. That is for sure. Driving forward, Devon Flanders. So, yeah, I got nothing right for this game that I can think of. We're going to have to start next game then. 50-22 high score. Hurricanes versus Moana Pasifika. Says Frank, it certainly is. I think the Blues versus Crusaders game might be a little bit lower scoring. Oh, knock on from Savia. And Morgan got cleaned up in the process as well. So Drew Mako. Now, Savia, he has scored 1 try. Someone else who's been quite busy throughout this game is Devon Flanders. Been doing plenty, but 13 minutes remaining. Like I mentioned, we've got a preview coming out on the channel for Samoa versus Australia. That will be taking place and coming up on the channel at 6:30 p.m. New Zealand time. So if you enjoy a bit of that, be sure to check it out. Hamish, I am your nemesis, and very well. Cold on the west coast, mate. Says Tony, I didn't realize you were my nemesis. I feel like I don't really have many nemesises. Is that a word? Nemesis? Maybe? Nemesi? We go with that. I feel like it's hard to have you as like a nemesis, though, because you've got like a picture of a dog as your thumbnail. So it's like, I don't know what Tony actually looks like, but Tony, in this case, is a dog. It's hard to be angry at a dog. And that's not me calling you a dog as well. I'm not firing up the rivalry again. 40 meters out from the line. Oh, Pierce round the side. Brilliant run here from Moana Pasifika. The pass on the outside. The pace is just not quite there for Manapaia. Finds the offload up. Now only 5 meters out from the line. Moana Pasifika, another crack here. Going off to the left-hand side. I'm starting to get quite hungry. Now, 5 meters out from the line. William Havili goes across to Lincoln McClutchy with the cross kick. Almost taken by Morgan. Good pressure there. And also, the way I see you grit your teeth when you read my comments, says Tony. I can't really grit them though because they don't line up properly. They're a bit of, I guess like that, yeah. Maybe at the back. No, it's more of the case of just you're a controversial bloke. The best way of putting it. Some things I have to read first to make sure I can actually say them. It's going to be the line out now, actually, for the Hurricanes. Reshuffle, Aidan Morgan. Now has been taken off the field. Tell mum to cook you some egg, bro. Yeah, I don't think my mum likes you. I feel like that's obvious. Caleb Delaney takes it nicely. Now driving forward at the back here. Slowly creeping here for Fiver. Decent meters made as well. Oh, that's a penalty against Moana Pasifika. Unfortunately, he just dove through the middle and ended up taking the man with the ball. Okay. Joe Royals come on the field. He replaced Lotu Anisi. So a couple of number twos out there on the field for Moana Pasifika. Geordie Barrett, big kick downfield. It's gone into touch on the 22. 57 of 22 Hurricanes versus Moana Pasifika. The Wellington win. Says Frank there. Yeah, it seems likely at the moment. It's just that question of whether or not they've got one or two more tries in them the rest of this one. But now Braden Aosi. Bet you he scores because he replaced Karifi. That's my prediction. Thrown in at the back. You always giggles at my charming post. Oh, she did at the start and then you annoyed her. So she still doesn't like you. Now, going back across to the right-hand side. Nice run from Braden Aosi. Now, big run from Flanders. He has put in a big shift here throughout the match. Now, back across to the left-hand side. Looking for the pass on the outside. Savia now goes to Peter Umanga Jensen, only recently making his way on the field. Now passing to Morby, also a late replacement. Almost going into touch. Oh, no, the cameraman stacked it. He's fallen over. Savia's scored, but the cameraman, how much is that camera worth that he has just broken, maybe? I want to see his angle of that try, actually. That would be quite cool to see. It'll be on the breakdown or something they'll look at. They won't be able to look at that far side's camera. Damn it, the Canes is destroying them, says Danston. Right, we'll get to see the far angle. Old mate thought that he was Usain Bolt with the run. Whose fault was it? He ran down the wing. He realized that he was out of position. So he charges forward, stacks it in the background. How have the commentators not realized it happened? He just slipped. We got a different camera angle. Are we really not going to look at that angle of the guy slipping over? I feel like that would have been the perfect one to watch. I was like, lol. Says Pads Ablaze. Surely they saw it. No one's seen it. I feel like they're trying to be all professional. Like, it didn't happen. We saw it. Now 62 points to 22. Blame the grass cut. Says Nate. And Artie the freak athlete. Geez, for a smaller bloke. Goes ham. Says Marco. Here's the thing with the cameraman is he had his legs like pretty much together. So I think he tried to stop and the other leg didn't stop. So he kind of fell down like he was a tree. That's a kick over from Geordie Barrett, making the score now 64 points to 22. So the way that we sit, 64 to 22, that's 86 points. If we get 2 more converted tries in the last 8 minutes, we have a new highest amount of points throughout Super Rugby Pacific. Who is Moana Pasifika? This is from Cake Tin. Reason placed that stadium. So Moana Pasifika made up of Samoa, Tonga, Cook Islands, all of the Pacific Island sides. And no offense, David Arveli's brother from Moana Pasifika is kind of ugly compared to his bro. Haha. There. How is that no offense, though? No offense to him, but he's not the attractive brother is what you're saying, isn't it? I feel like they're very different builds as well, aren't they? David Arveli a little bit more stocky but solider, whereas Willie, oh, that was a tip tackle almost above the horizontal. Clean out. Now 22 meters out. Duplessis Karifi went off the field earlier on. A couple other changes that they did have to make. I believe Walker Leawere was off the field quite early. Willie Harveli just dropped that ball. It's a knock on, but they say play on. William Harveli, great counter ruck there from the Hurricanes. A Fijian, the team. How do they make the selections? Must be tough. I think there's a couple Fijians in the side as well. Yeah, it's just pretty much they look through at the Bunnings NBC. They look through at other Super Rugby games that have taken place with these guys and work out what their side that is the most promising is, I guess. Gains by 39. Looking pretty good right now. Only one. Okay, 3 out. Here's Bedza. Deep breaths, I should say, being taken. 6.5 minutes remaining, and that means that we are now less than an hour away from Crusaders taking on the Blues. Yeah, Timoti Tavatavanawa, Fijian representative. Yeah, I think it's just Pacific Islands, really. Hurricanes, they will actually move up to second with this victory, catching up on points differential with the Chiefs. The Hurricanes, second, Brumbies third on 36. Now, big scrum coming from Moana Pasifika. They win the penalty as well. Very strong scrum from the away side. There is still the guesses of what the winning margin will be. At the moment, they are winning this game by 32 points. I think that's what they're sitting on. No, sorry, 42 points, I should say. It was a great scrum from Moana Pasifika. Now line out coming in, 5 remaining on the clock. Still time for 2 tries, really, like we saw in the first 5 minutes of the contest. It has been thrown in, stolen there by Caleb Delaney and the Hurricanes. Now Logan Henry with a step and run. In fact, it was Godfrey. Loose pass for Poriraki Stones, picked up by Manu Paia. Now goes across to the right-hand side. A bit of the skip pass. Nicely taken by Henry Taifu. Goes off to Willie Harveli. Came off the bench. Also, my son played his first game today. He was trash. He's okay. We'll practice heaps and train, and we will get better. See Marco there as well. My mum's turned up. She did looking over the shoulder. Hello. What are you up to then? It is a bit chilly. Bit one-sided. Yeah. We're from Logan Henry over the ball. Penalty won by the Canes, but not releasing. Now getting close to the countdown of the game. 4 minutes remaining. So I'm a cricket and football guy. Good to see the Pacifica team not getting smashed like that, though. Do South Africa have Super Comp? They do not. They are part of the URC. Next game taking place is Stormers versus Connacht. That is just around the corner. That is at 2 a.m. New Zealand time. And also headgear, mate. Headgear. There's Tony there. Headgear can be important. Game of rugby. I mean, quite a few of the Hurricanes have opted for headgear this year. That wasn't straight. They're going to say it was straight enough. Now Peter Umang and Jensen. Nice carry forward. Logan Henry now going off to the left-hand side, and Canes end up 4 if the Blues and the Brumbies win. Yeah, I mean, it's the question of who's going to be playing who for those quarterfinals. Alessi Reasi, nice run down the wing, finds the offload off to Braden Iosio. In fact, it was Devon Flanders, I believe. I hear them say playing advantage as well. No, maybe not. Now Salisi Reasi once again looking for that try line. Nice work there in the breakdown from Moana Pasifika, but because of the player being there, he's not able to contest. Now Josh Morby, ball on the outside to Billy Proctor, out to Artie Savia for his hat-trick, gets over. Savia scores 3. There's about to run out of weed before the game, says Nazi Williams. That is not ideal for you, Nazi. What else could you have instead? Have you got any chips? Chips are fantastic. Adi Savia, 3 tries tonight, 7 for the season. Reasi just with the fend on. Willie Harvili finding that offload. But that was a great pickup from Devon Flanders to be able to pick that ball up the way that he did. But now with a couple minutes remaining, we could see 100 points on the board perhaps. And also that Reasi's a waste of the Hurricanes. Dude's super talented. Here's Nazi Williams. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Hurricanes have gone very well in this game, but I've noticed there's a few players out there for them who get a bit of goal line fever. We haven't seen much passing from some of those backs. Reasi, at least he's looking for those offloads, which I think is hugely beneficial compared to someone like a Kini Naholo on the other wing who was never passing the ball ever throughout this contest when they knew they were getting a decent crack. Geordie Barrett, great strike of the ball. It's gone over. And now we have 93 points scored throughout this game with 2 minutes remaining. If the Hurricanes score now and convert, or Moana Pasifika score and convert, we will get a 100-point game heading into the match between the Crusaders and the Blues. That would certainly be one to get people hyped up for it. 100 seconds remaining for the 100th point on the board. Off short by Moana Pasifika. What a take that is. Brilliant off kickoff. Oh, but he's dropped the ball. It could have been a highlight reel try. And the frustration on the face. Hurricanes are on fire. That's my team. SC Real. That would have been, I think, the best try of this contest if he had been able to hang on to it. It slipped out of his hands. Here's Nazi Antonio. Yep. We had a tackling season or session this afternoon. 30 kg boy versus me, 92 kgs. Man, show him as long. As he wraps around my legs, I'll fall down. He was a bit drop nuts with the physical side, says Marco. Thank you, Irish. There's MH Choi. Brilliant kickoff, though. 50 seconds remain. 71-22. What's happening? No one can tackle. There hasn't been a huge amount of tackling in this one. Yes, total 100 points. I would have been fantastic, says MH Choi. And Blue's going to need a 16th man. The Kiwi lad's mum got the sidestep and fends off skills. I mean, we saw her doing that kick in the earlier video on the channel. And no weed. What is this nonsense you speak of? Says Marco. I know that I've got a bag of like lollies that are mango flavored that I'm excited about. It's not weed. I haven't tried weed, but I like mango, so that's good. I feel like that's my equivalent, what you guys are having. Now, Geordie Barrett looking for the cross kick. Everyone's just going for anything now. They're looking for highlight tries. Josh Morby down the wing goes for the grubber. The ball is going to just curve a little bit infield. We're near the end of the game. William Harvili takes the ball. They'll be looking for one last crack here, the Hurricanes. And a bit of a counter ruck there from them as well. But the ball bounces out onto the side of Moana Pasifika. It's loose. Picked up nicely by Chris Apua. I don't think Moana Pasifika want this game to end, but it looks like now they might consider pocket. They'll kick it into touch. And that's the end of the game. 93 points between the two sides. And tell you what, there is plenty of hands on hips out there on the park at the moment. Also, Hamish, have you covered the passing of Brian Robertson? I haven't mentioned it. I did see that they had it up just before. Great rugby player he was. 93 points. Then Mangoes, hurry up, June. Says Nate. And now there is something in those lollies. Come on now, don't lie. There is. There's chocolate coating them, and there's mango and also orange, which I've never had before. I have to do a review on the final live stream of the day. At about 6:30 a.m., we will try a lolly that we haven't had. Sounds like a plan. Nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The next one is going to be about 45 minutes away, 40 minutes away, in fact, and that is Crusaders taking on the Blues. As Mango's code word for something more illicit, mate. I'm very interested in the mangoes, bro. No, it's literally just mango. Bloody love me a good mango. Sugar too, bro, says Nazi Williams, the best of all for the weekend. Says MH Joy, top line man, that special thing. Like glucose, of course. It's got a bit of that in it. Bit of sugar. Gets you fired up. Yeah, nonetheless, we'll see you all for the Crusaders versus Blues. Just around the corner. Should be a good game. See you all for the next one. Also, be sure to check out the 6:30 live stream or the 6:30 video that we've got coming out of Samoa versus Australia. We'll see you all for the next one.